Hello, guys. This is yet another changed Roblox related drama video. Though, I'm not really one to make drama videos. I don't like getting into controversies too much. I don't know, man. Life's too short, right? But with what happened, I knew I needed to make another video. And heads up to YouTube specifically, this will be a bit rambly. But if you go down the time bar, I will put chapters in so you can skip around to different parts of the topics. So if you want to catch information about a certain part, just look at the titles and find the chapter section you want to watch. So let's talk about what the heck this is about. I guess backstory would be good first, though. Some of you guys know, I'm sure a lot of you know at this point, but I've made a few videos on changed Roblox content. And what that means is basically content on Roblox that is related to change, that is basically fan games made using changed assets and story and inspiration and visuals and stuff. And there's been a lot of those games, and I've played quite a few of them for my channel. For quite over a year now, and I've gotten involved in a lot of communities and stuff. It's been good. It's been a good time. There's been a lot of creative people, a lot of people developing for these things that I just think are really cool. But unfortunately, that all changed when the Fire Nation attacked. No, so basically, you guys know lately I've been making some videos involving the game Transformation, one of the changed fan games, which kind of had a bad rap going for it because it removed credits towards Dragon Snow, the original creator, changed. And there's a lot of controversy and stuff surrounding it. And then it came back, and it actually had proper rules, proper credits, and I even celebrated it with my recent video. Like, hey, they're back, they seem to be doing better, that's good, they're making the right decisions. And then not 2 hours after that video of mine goes live on YouTube, the game's gone. Just gone. Deleted. And at first I thought, oh, okay, so there was some more drama involving the game. But no, it was much bigger than that. It was much bigger than just transformation. Let me demonstrate what I mean really fast, actually. I have here... where is it? There, right there. Yes. So, this is just my page. Check this out. This is SR Mullen's game, the server I spent many times. I've actually gone, I think I've through back to it for 3 different videos. Content deleted. X-Paragon's game, which I found myself very interested in. Content deleted. Stinker Hack's game, which I don't think I ever actually had a chance to check out. Nuclear RP changed. Content deleted. Xpru's Infection, which I did check out right before my last few transformation videos. Content deleted. This has happened to most of the games on Roblox that involve changed. And basically, a Mass-Deletion occurred, helmed by Roblox staff, of change-related content just yesterday. Most changed fan games, there are a few that have survived, but I don't know how long they'll last, are removed now. And it's hard to say what exactly caused this. Some people have some theories. One thing I would like to... Oh, I didn't include that in my notes. Let me go get that in my notes real fast. There's one thing in particular that I think is worth showing. I have here... One moment. My notes are very vast. Bear with me while I pull this up. So, I actually have here a note that I received. So Xpru was one of the people that got their game removed. I actually have their... I actually have the message they received from Roblox staff involving why their game was removed. Not only did... Here you go. Not only did these games get removed, but the developers, the head developers of these games, received bans, usually 7-day bans in this case. So we can see here what XPRE received. Banned for 7 days, our content monitors have determined that your behavior at Roblox has been in violation of our terms of use. Reviewed 11/19/2020, 6:40 p.m. So again, this happened just last night. Moderator note, your account has been moderated for creating, promoting, or participating in inappropriate behavior or content. This is a violation of our terms of use. Your game, the game, has been permanently suspended. Do not create game referencing inappropriately. Do not create game referencing inappropriately. Good English there, by the way. But, yeah, don't create inappropriate games that reference inappropriate material is basically what that means. Please abide by the Roblox community guidelines so that Roblox can be fun for all users, for users of all ages. Your account has been disabled. You may reactivate after 11/26. If you wish to appeal, please contact us. So, yeah. So, these games have been mass deleted because Roblox staff, possibly just one Roblox mod that was going around, or maybe it was multiple people, it's hard to say, determined that these games were inappropriate. So, let's discuss what exactly caused this to happen. There's a few theories floating about. One of the bigger things that was brought up was, right before this mass deletion occurred, there was a person known as KonekoKitten on YouTube. I don't know them very well, but they made this video. Why is Roblox allowing these games? And a lot of people are hating on Koneko for this video. This is a video where they just basically went over how a lot of people have been asking them to offer their opinions. Apparently, they're a Roblox YouTuber. A lot of people have been asking, hey, Koneko, could you offer your opinion about this? And he keeps getting asked about it. So he was like, all right, I'll offer my opinion since people want it. And his opinion, I could go over the whole video. It's only 6 minutes. But for the sake of brevity, because it's going to be a long enough video anyways, basically, you can watch it yourself. I'll provide links to all related content that I list off or address a reference. It'll be all in the description of the YouTube video, so if you want to click any of the links and check any of the material, it'll be there for you. But basically, what he went over was how he feels that change is inappropriate and this game shouldn't be on Roblox, and that it doesn't make him feel comfortable since Roblox has a lot of kids. And that's a common opinion, and I'm not going to knock him for his opinion. I don't agree with his opinion. But I personally feel that it's an opinion that's undereducated. Basically, I feel like it's very unlikely he's played changed. It's unlikely he understands what it's actually about, and is kind of going off of what other people feel. I don't mind his opinion, though. He was asked for his opinion, and he gave it. I don't feel he should be lynched for that. And also, he's not a Roblox moderator. If the Roblox moderator saw this video and then immediately, I think it was more just coincidence. It's possible that Roblox moderators maybe got influenced by his video. I don't know. He does have 1.08 million subscribers, so it's possible somebody watched it. But at the same time, he's just given his opinion. I don't agree with his opinion, but I don't hate him for his opinion, because people are allowed to have opinions. Let's respect each other's opinions. So, yeah, I don't want to blame this guy, but he did receive a lot of blame. He made a follow-up video where... Again, I feel kind of bad for him. I mean, he's still in this follow-up video. He's still staunchly defends his position, but people are mad at me. People are mad at me, and just like, yeah. And he's not backing down on his opinion. Fine, he doesn't have to. It's his opinion. He gets to have whatever opinion he wants. You know. Yeah. So I don't agree with him, but I don't think he's this prime evil that some people seem to make him out as. Please don't attack people, guys. It doesn't help. He doesn't have a pearl emoji on his Discord. Maybe he did play change, and maybe that's maybe he has an educated opinion. Maybe he's played through change. Maybe this is how he feels about change. We all have different interpretations, and that's fair. I would like to go over that, but first, yeah, I also think that the whole drama involving transformation may have also caused this attention towards change. Because the issues with transformation also involve the idea of like, well, we want to remove the credits because we don't want kids seeing changed. So we're removing the credits to Drake because we don't want kids to find out about changed itself, because change is quote unquote inappropriate. So that drama may have led to that too, especially considering you have to remember that Flamingo here, 7.75 million subscribers, made a video on this game. And that probably got some attention towards change on Roblox concepts as well. But, so, let me see, what's my next talking point? God, there's so many. So, There's another possibility with Roblox cracking down on these things. It may not even have anything to do with YouTuber videos. Something I would like to point out here. Roblox is going public. Kids, this article here. Kids gaming platform Roblox faces hurdles ahead of public listing. Rough words. Profiles and other offensive contents the basic word filtering tools are designed to catch can be found in some game tiles and user profiles in Drone's gaming platform Roblox. Searches of the website showed, despite the company's no tolerance policy and assurances of safeguards to enforce it, stop fucking autoplay the video. Powered by user-created games, Roblox filed late Thursday for a multi-billion-dollar stock market debut, riding the lockdown entertainment boom with its appeal as a place for safe, fun, and interactions for the youngest gamers. Basically, they're going public, they're going to the stock market because in the middle of pandemic, I'm not going to say anything more than that because that could lock down a video, but because of that, they're pushing to be public and offer a, fair enough. That is a very safe alternative for social interactions and stuff, especially for kids. But parent groups and investors alike said they are concerned about whether the company's automated systems of moderate conduct can effectively delete potentially offensive language and images that pop up on the platform. Simple Google keyword searches of the site turned up more than 100 examples of abusive language or imagery, which I'm not going to read out loud because some of this is fucking bad. And in response to written questions, company spokeswoman Teresa Brewer said in a statement that Roblox has no tolerance for inappropriate content. There's that word again. Which is why we have a stringent safety system, including proprietary text filtering technology, third-party machine learning solutions, and customized rules on what to block, which we update daily. So I could keep going with this article. You can read it for yourself. Again, links will be in the description. But to put it simply, it just goes over how Roblox is going public, going on the stock market, seeking to make more money, and how it's getting some criticism. And it's basically, I think Roblox is in a position where it's being pressured to be more stringent since it's gone public. And also for anybody doubting the accuracy of that article, this is an actual registration statement for going public. This is an appropriate sec.gov. It's appropriate. It's a legitimate United States declaration of basically going public. I don't know all the fancy official terms for it, but it's right here. Class A common stock, public offering. Yep. So, it's happening. And I'm thinking that this is part of the reason that suddenly there's all this locking down and deleting of games. Because they're getting pressure from parents and other consumers if they are going public, that especially about their ability to make the game appropriate for kids, make Roblox appropriate for kids. And I think that is technically it is a good goal. I don't think inappropriate content is appropriate on Roblox either. But of course, that always gets down to, there's also the other issue. The issue may have also been exacerbated. This whole situation may have also been exacerbated because both Transformation and apparently Fur Infection, those two games, apparently their code was leaked, which caused more changed fan games to suddenly pop up. It was like a bunch of clones using the same map and stuff existed, I believe. I didn't really do a lot of research on that before this all happened. But that also may have made the change Roblox fan game thing, there may have been a bit of a boom, making the whole subject matter more prolific and more pronounced, more visible to the mods, you could say. What I have done, I've contacted several people. I've contacted Roblox. They have a press email. I am press. I contacted them for a statement. I haven't gotten one yet. If I do, I'll probably do a little quick update involving that. I've also contacted Koneko because I thought maybe he would be interested in a collab. Because again, while I don't agree with his opinions, I think that, he's getting attacked. I'd like to talk to him, kind of clear up the air a little bit and make it clear to everyone that don't attack this guy, So I was thinking maybe a collab if he's interested. I haven't gotten word back about that, but maybe that'll happen in the future. But let's switch topics for a second. So one way or another, Roblox staff, regardless of the reasons for finding out these games and their motivations for deleting them, the reason is clear. Roblox staff feels that these changed fan games are inappropriate. I'd like to address this on two levels. First off, are the games themselves, the fan games that were hosted on Roblox, are they inappropriate? I didn't play every single one, but I actually had a huge list of games I was going to check out, as well as a good list of games I have checked out. And one thing I can certainly say is that, yes, Change is a very weird subject matter. It's a weird game. It has a weird fandom. Not a single game I played, and I very much doubt the games I didn't play are bad either. Not a single Change Roblox game I played was inappropriate. There was a few weird people RPing, but that can be found in any roleplay game. I know of some feral roleplay games where you can like run around as a wolf and people want to have cubs with each other, and that's really fucking weird, kind of. But weird RPers are just going to exist. That happens. That's not an indicator of how the game and the developers, what their intent with the game is not determined by a random user coming in and saying something weird. That is, that doesn't express negativity towards the game. That doesn't express a bad light on the game, because it's what the devs want to make out of it and what they want to police. That's what matters. And I could say that the Change Roblox communities I saw were good. There was good people. Honestly, not very much fighting, not very much arguing. Honestly, it was a lot less toxic than a lot of Roblox games, including a lot of featured, like properly featured by Roblox games, which have some really toxic communities sometimes. Far less toxic. Far less inappropriate, actually. But beyond just the Change fan games and how appropriate they were, okay, fair enough. I guess Roblox doesn't care how appropriate those games are. They care about how appropriate the content they took, from Change was. So basically, the argument could be made, well, it doesn't matter how appropriate those Roblox games are. They're still using Change, as a basis for their fan content and such, and Change is inappropriate, so ergo the fan game must be inappropriate. That's the argument some people make. And I've touched upon this before, the subject of Change being inappropriate. I've touched upon this before, but I've never gotten really into it, but I feel like this is my time now that with all this going on. It's time for me to finally say it. Despite what some people think, Change is not an inappropriate game. Change is not an adult game. It's not an 18-plus game. I agree it's a teen game. I definitely think that really tiny tykes probably shouldn't be playing it. But I think anybody with a decent amount of brain development can handle Change. I don't personally think Change is that inappropriate. I don't think Change... It's weird. It's furry. That's the thing. It's furry. And when something's furry, suddenly tons of people come out of the woodwork say, well, that thing's furry. It must not be for kids. It's probably inappropriate. It's furry. It's furry, so it must be bad in some way. That's a common attitude. I honestly think that a very large portion of why people think Change is inappropriate is all thanks to one stupid little detail. Let me show you the stupid little detail. If I go to the Change Steam page, check this out. Do you see these tags down here? See this one? I'll zoom it in a bit for you guys, actually. If we go over to these tags down here. Oh, I zoomed in too much for the tag went away. There you go. I don't know. That's weird. I zoomed into the tags change. Well, anyways, this is one of the default tags that show up. Cute, difficult, adventure, indie, sexual content. I personally think that a lot of people go to the Change Steam page, see that tag, and go, yeah, this game's inappropriate. What's this being shown around for kids? I think this one tag has caused a lot of the issues that this game has received. One thing I'd like to note, though, and I really actually hate how Steam designs this, because you see those tags and you think those are official tags. Those are tags that are absolutely concretely tied to the game, especially the ones, in the top listing, because you can also hit plus to see more, right? But here's the thing, guys. I'd like to point this line above the tags out. Popular user-defined tags for this product. These are user-defined tags. These are what people say the game is. This isn't what the developer says the game is. This isn't what people who worked on the game says the game is. This isn't officially what Steam says the game is. This is just what some bloody users think. And I'd like to point this out because, yeah, I'm not even going to make a posit that Dragon Snow doesn't intend this game to be sexual, to be labeled. Dragon Snow did not intend this tag to exist. And I could say that because I actually asked Dragon Snow yesterday. I actually had a conversation with them on Twitter DMs. I'll pull that up in just a second. Let me half censor the page, though, because it also will show my other private DMs that I don't want you guys seeing the others, but I'll show you this one. So give me 1 minute, and I will demonstrate. You don't even need to have played the game to give it a tag. That's the thing. Tags have no curation conditions. Reviews usually require that you have the game, but tags don't. Tags don't require that at all. And that's a problem. That is a problem. The tag system isn't unabusable. It's not perfectly representative. Exactly. The tag system can be abused. Let me go ahead, and I have to load my other browser because apparently I don't have myself signed in on Twitter on my Brave browser. But that's all right. All right, so... Okay, here we go. Just a moment, and I will capture this up. So I figured, you know, having, your word against mine sort of thing, like, change doesn't have sexual content. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Okay, fine. We could argue that all day, right? And I'm sure people have. So I went to the source. I talked to Dragon Snow, the creator of the damn game. Dragon Snow 4. If you're wondering why he's Dragon Snow 4 on Twitter, it's because his original account got hacked. But here's a conversation I had with him. I'll go ahead and just that. Good enough, I guess. Real professional here, just kind of like throwing it in, but you know. So here, I think you guys can read that fine, right? Let's see. Yeah, good enough. So I went to him and asked him, hey there, Dragon Snow, it's Charm, the guy who made a bunch of changed fan content and music before? Because I have. I've actually made a lot of fan content over the years, and Dragon Snow has actually been aware of me for a number of years as well now. He actually complimented me on some of the stuff I put together. We haven't talked that much, but we've had some niceties here and there. So anyways, I told him, you probably already know, but a ton of changed fan games on Roblox are taken down by Roblox staff today. I'm a YouTuber and I'm trying to help people in this situation in my videos, so I wanted to ask you a direct question. Do you feel that change contains sexual content? Was that your intent when making change? Or do you feel that change is a clean game, if a bit weird? Thank you for replying if you can. I just want to hear your own opinion since you're the creator. Here's what he had to say. And keep in mind that Dragon Snow is from China, so his English isn't perfect. If the game really has such content, it'll be warned when the Steam audit. And what is the basis for determining the pornographic elements? Is it close physical contact, or is it exposed? I admit that some of the images are in close contact. You know, there are several scenes where they're snuggling, and even like there's a snow leopard that kisses the main character to transfer them. So there is romantic content, there is close contact. There's nothing sexual though. And Dragon Snow says the same. You know, I admit some images are in close contact, but can you find anything else? By the way, I'm busy updating the game every day, don't know anything about it. Has this happened? So he didn't actually know about the Roblox situation, so I was introducing this to him too. I shared the, as I showed you guys, the X-Crew band message to explain what's been going on. And I said, thank you for responding. So you think change is not an adult game? I agree with you personally. Some people overreact on this. They think change is adult because of the close contact or all the goo or something, but I do not think change is adult. I've been doing lots of research, been involved in the change Roblox community for many months. There are a lot of good people who made change Roblox games. They also respect you a lot. These people credit you correctly too. There are around 25 different games at one point. Basically, most of these games are now gone. Several hours ago, Roblox removed most of these games due to them having inappropriate content. I even have one of the messages one developer got about this. I included as an image. People are even getting tint banned over this. It's very sad. Roblox seems to be deleting the games because they believe change is adult. So that means change fan games are also adult in their eyes. I think part of the reason they think this is because the change Steam page has a sexual content user tag on it. I played many of the changed fan games on Roblox, and they were actually very clean. So it's very wrong of Roblox to do this, but there's nothing anybody can do. It also seems like Roblox is becoming a public company, so they may be cracking down on anything that they think is questionable. You mentioned the Steam audit. How does that work? I assume it marks a game as adults only if it doesn't pass the audit? So Snow had this to say. As I've been saying before, and he says it here, those tags are uploaded by players. The Dark Souls has love tags. He's basically saying that if you go to Dark Souls, you'll find some really silly tags for Dark Souls too. And that's true. A lot of games have some really stupid tags if you start looking around the Steam, the store. Most of those tags are just meme tags and they don't do any harm, but I think in this case, this tag did a lot of harm. As for the audit, Steam will test the game on the shelf. This is written in Steam's policy. They can only put it on the shelves after they think there is no problem. If a pornographic game does not state that it contains pornographic content, it will be returned by Steam. Obviously, my game has passed the official audit of Steam. This is an important detail. Basically, Steam does do an audit process where they check to make sure that the game is uploaded doesn't have, you know, pornographic content. Mature games are allowed on Steam, but they are forced behind an age check, and also there is always a mature content rating description section for mature content games. You can find, if you go, I'm not going to show this because we're talking about going to a mature game, and this is a video. I don't want to do that. But if you were to go to a mature content rated game on Steam, a famous one is Honey Pop. If you scroll to the bottom, you'll find in the description of every single one a mature content description, and that description is where the developer provides information as to what exactly is mature in the game. They're required to put that if their game is mature. And if you're wondering if Changed has that, that's the thing. As you might be able to guess by the way we're talking, no. I'll demonstrate right now. 1 second. Just need to... Actually, let me just go to... Let me go to the change page again. And I'll show you. So, changed. Change special. Information about change special here. About the game. And that's it. Now, if this was a mature content rated game, if Steam officiated this as a mature game, below the About This Game section, below this section would be a mature content rating section, which explained why the game was basically mature. Furthermore, if the game was fully explicit and adults only, there would actually be an adults only tag at the top, at least for most games that this involves. So, right there from the developer's mouth, as well as Steam's own proof with how they run their system, this is not a fucking mature rated game. Dragon Snow never intended it as one. He never made it as one. It isn't one. And Steam agrees. Steam has audited his game. Steam has come back saying, yep, this game's clean. So anyways, yeah, I responded, I agree. It's a dumb tag the users added. I don't think it fits the game. I reported the tag. They can apparently be removed if they get enough reports, which I'm going to bring up to you guys. If you didn't know, you can actually report user tags. If you see a user tag on a game and you think it's inappropriate or not conducive to the game, if you think it might mislead people or cause problems, you can report that tag. Let me show you how you do it. Because all of you could do it. Anybody can report a bad tag. So if you feel that the tag is, oops, I accidentally changed it up while trying to go to the store page. And now we're going to impromptu going to do a playthrough now. But yeah, you can actually report tags. And if you feel the tag is inappropriate, if you feel that this tag is inappropriate, you can report it. And I will show you how as soon as Steam wishes to actually load the page. Thank you. So I'm loading Steam up specifically because I'm logged in here. Because it's Steam. So if we were to go over here. Now you can see, basically, if you click this plus sign, you can see all the tags. And right next to each tag, if you hover next to the plus sign, a little flag pops up. If you click that tag, you can report it. I didn't mean to actually report that one. Whoops. But you can actually report a tag just by clicking that flag. Let me unclick that so it's not reported. As you can see, I've already reported the sexual content tag. But apparently if enough people do that, the tag does get removed. So if you agree with my assessment, consider reporting the tag. And again, I'll link to the change page as well for those that want to go and report. Again, and link in the description. And I'll also link that for you guys here for those that want to help out. Just a moment. All right, here we go. But yeah, so I finished this by saying, and also here it is. It says that I added the tag after report. You must have hit the plus sign, Selena. But yeah, so I said I agree. It's a dumb tag that the users added. I don't think it fits the game. I report the tag. They can be removed if they get enough reports. I see. Thank you for that information. I also noticed that adult games on Steam must contain a mature content description, which your game obviously does not have because it's not mature content. This really helps me. Thanks, Dragon Snow. I'll make an update of all this. And he said thanks. And yeah, so let me just close that. Okay, let's review for a second. So everyone says the change is... Oh, I got a button stuck on my screen. I'll have to get rid of that later. So everybody says that change is mature, is inappropriate for kids. Now Roblox is touting that. I think Roblox is touting that because of that damn tag. If they go to the official Steam page, they'll see that tag, think that tag is official, when it's in fact just added by users, and then react off of that. And I feel like a lot of people react off of that. And those who actually have seen gameplay also probably react poorly sometimes. That's probably where the tag came from in the first place. Because if you play Change, sure, I agree that the game deserves a teen rating. There's a lot of contact, closeness, even romantic actions here and there. But it all makes sense. You got gooey creatures that have to come in physical contact with a human to transfer them, to change them into one of them. Naturally, there would be physical contact. Some of the scenes were judged for how they were positioned or whatever, but there was nothing inherently sexual about the game. People were reading into Change. People read into Change. Say, well, that's oddly posed. I bet sex is happening there. It's like, why do people do that? I'll tell you why. Because the game's furry, because the game's weird, and people want to judge it. So if they see something that looks a little off, they'll go like, I bet that's sexual content right there. I bet that is, because there's no way that could be clean. There's no way a damn furry would make something clean. Something, you know. Yeah, I have a problem with this, and I'm going to just say it right now. Change is not sexual content. Sure, I'll give it a teen rating, for sure. But I won't give it an 18+ rating. And when it comes to the subject matter of Change content on Roblox, yes, I realize there's kids that are younger than teenagers on Roblox. But also, I'd like to point out that not only is Change not adult, but the Change Roblox games that existed actually toned things down. The Roblox games were not as I didn't even want to use the word extreme, but I guess I'll use it here. They weren't as quote-unquote extreme as the actual game. Even if they were, I don't really see a complete problem here. But my point is, if you think that close contact physical transformation is too much for a Roblox kitty to watch and play, then why the fuck are there first-person shooters that get heavily promoted on Roblox? Because I would argue that shooting people dead, sometimes with blood decals, is maybe a little bit worse. And I'm not going to complain about there being violent first-person shooters on Roblox. There are, and I actually enjoy some of them. But if we're not going to address how very little kids are playing those FPS games, then fucking leave Change alone already. That's my point. There is so much violence in so many Roblox games that get promoted directly by Roblox. They make a lot of money for not only the developers, but also Roblox themselves. And they're going to be fine with those games. So step off, Roblox. You're not going to, but I'm still going to tell you, step off, Roblox. And all the people who hate on Changed for being furry, for being what they presume is adult, look, again, if your opinion is that the game's inappropriate, fine. You're allowed to have that opinion. But don't push it onto other people and treat it like it's a fact. Opinions aren't facts. Opinions can be fueled by facts, but they can also be fueled by paranoia, opinionation. You know, opinionation is subjective a lot of times. Paranoia, subjection, what you heard somebody else say, peer pressure. These are all things that can affect one's opinion. And ultimately, I just think it's wrong. I think it's wrong to pick on Change and say it's adult, because it's not. Yeah, teen rated. That's what I'd give it. Meanwhile, things like those FPSs I mentioned probably should be a teen rating too, if not higher. So, if they're allowed, it's only fair. Well, the thing is, if we want to get into that, Beerus says in the West there are way different standards for violence and sexual content. True. I think it's always been unequal, and I don't like that. A romantic kiss from a snow leopard turning you into a snow leopard yourself is suddenly seen as like, whoa, we can't have kids seeing that. It's a kiss. Oh! But go ahead and let him shoot somebody's head off in that first-person shooter, though. It's fine. It's like, come on. Do people not realize how unequal that is? I don't know, man. I think a little affection is perhaps a little more positive than killing somebody in a video game. But I digress. So, yeah. Let's go on a little bit further. Some of you guys think that Roblox doesn't have a right to do what they did. Unfortunately, they do. Let's discuss Roblox policies. about how they own their how content made on the platform is owned by them. A lot of people have been mentioning it here and there, usually not without any, but not usually substantiating it. The idea that Roblox owns anything you make on it. So they unfortunately do. And as we've seen with how Roblox handled the matters here, what happened was they thought this stuff was wrong. And then what did they do? What did they do to the creators? What did they do to developers? They completely deleted their content without any warnings, without any heads up like, hey, you might want to save your work. You might want to save your code. We're about to delete this because it's wrong. Or, there was no time. There was no respect given to the developers as well as the users playing those games. There was no respect along the lines of, hey, we see that your game is violating our code of conduct. We want to talk to you about it. You have a week to talk to us, or the game gets deleted. No warning, no respect, no equality, no chance to have a conversation with a Roblox dev. No chances for a Roblox dev and a Roblox staff member to have a conversation about the issue. No chances for them to make changes to make the game appropriate according to Roblox's terms. Nothing. Just delete the game and ban the devs for 7 days. It honestly reminds me a lot of my experiences on Fur Affinity, where similar things would happen there. If something violated, even barely violated a clause or something, like you made a small mistake and you upload something that just had something a little bit off, like maybe you tagged it wrong or something, you get it deleted, and then you'd be told in post that you messed up. This isn't moderation. What Roblox is doing is not moderation. This is treating people like criminals. Moderation is where you tell people they made mistakes and then give them the opportunity to fix it. This is just condemning people right off the bat, regardless of context. That's fucked up. This is not how you moderate anything. You don't... Because people make mistakes, and people should be allowed to make up for those mistakes. And no moderation team is impeccable, because they're made of people too. They're made of flawed individuals too, because that's what humans are. That's what sentient creatures are. Flawed individuals. So it's also possible that a mod might make a mistake, which is also why it's a good idea to talk to your users as a moderator. Why it's good to communicate with them and discuss the problem, because it might turn out that you made a mistake. The moderator may have made a mistake, And discussion clarifies these things. But no, apparently Roblox, staff, they're always going to be perfect, I guess, and so they can just delete things and condemn people. That's apparently... And the sad thing is, they have the right to. They have the right to. Let's talk about the Roblox Terms of Use for a second. Now, this document is fucking ridiculous, so I'll be skipping around it. You'll understand in a second what I mean, why I say that. But let's go over to browser. There we go. Here's the Roblox Terms of Use. Before I read any of it, let me scroll this bar down. And now you'll see why I'm going to skip around and just read a few little individual points. Again, links in the description as with everything. So if you want to fucking read over this, dudes, I already half read, half skimmed the whole thing, and that took forever. Trust me when I say no. First off, number one critique. A lot of Roblox developers, as well as users, are kids or younger. This document is completely impenetrable. There's I understand having the long form document, you need that for legality, but there's no short form document. There's nothing here. There's no digestible form of this document, which is really kind of shit when you consider how many people are younger and probably will struggle reading this. Dumb. But anyways, that aside, I'm going to be reading a few individual points around this document. So let's go to 2A. That's the first thing I'd like to address. 2A. So here we go. The service, right? Use. Some of the things you can do through the service are listed directly below. What you can actually do in the list below will depend on your age, the type of account you sign up to, and whether you create UGC. You're going to see that term a lot. That means user-generated content. That's what a developer does. If they're developing something for Roblox, that's user-generated content, UGC. And allow the use by others of that UGC and other factors. Don't worry if this is making your brain glaze over. I'll point out the important parts. These terms apply to all users of the service no matter what you do. All users. UGC means the following that you control, have the ability to license, have ownership of, will provide, or have provided. such as content services, any modifications or changes to derivative works by you that you otherwise own or control, or use of the service. Private or publish means to create, modify, or generate through the service. Service here, by the way, is just the Roblox platform. The service is the Roblox platform. Or upload, post, publish, or otherwise provide to, for, or through us, someone or something on behalf of us or the service. Content services means all type of content, including games, and all characters, assets, names, and other items in the games, avatars and other characters, digital clothing, other digital assets, everything. But the important part is including games, right? Just keep that in mind. Also, one second. I'm just going to hopefully, there we go. I have a weird issue on computers where, have you ever had like a mouse over button, like you're mousing over something and like highlights it on like with a Windows format, and then it never goes away, it just sticks on your computer? I had to close Steam to make it go away. It was blocking part of the words for me. So anyways, let's go to point 1 here. Create, develop, modify, contribute. Blah, 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 blah. Content services, which may be available to some or all users of service. You may have heard people describe Roblox as the place where games and experiences are created by the players for the players. We are known for that because the service is a social platform which hosts games and other content created by users to be played and used by other users. The service includes tools and interfaces that users can use to create, play, interact, and socialize. Users who create dev services, as defined below, and publish the dev services we call devs. Other users on the service can interact, use, and in some cases acquire the dev services. Dev services mean the following content services created by devs, games/experiences, anything is made available through the service for consideration to other users for games services, such as game passes or digital content, items or abilities for use in or for game dev services, digital items for avatars. Keep in mind that devs are users like you, so we welcome you to become a dev. Also keep in mind that whether you are a dev or other type of user, you are governed by these terms. Also, we reserve the right, but shall have no obligation, to pre-screen, refuse to accept, post, display, or transmit your content services through the service in whole or in a part at any time, for any reason or no reason, with or without notice, and with no liability. This last sentence very much a we can do whatever the fuck we want, whenever the fuck we want, however the fuck we want kind of clause. We can go further with this though. This is just the tip of the iceberg. If we go down to 6A1, which requires some scrolling, 6A1. Here's the tab about intellectual property. I'll read this out. Ownership of our intellectual property. The visual interfaces, graphics, design, compilation, information, data, computer code, including source code or object code, products, software, services, and all other elements of the service, intellectual property or IP, are protected by law. All IP contained within the service is our property or our users or third-party licensors' property. Now, that does differentiate our users' property. So dev's property does get considered here. However, let's keep going. The IP includes user-generated content that has been licensed to us by our users under Section 6B3 below. Except as expressly authorized by us in these terms, you may not make use of any IP contained in the service unless you get separate permission from the owner. Reserve all rights to the IP, not granted expressly in these terms. That's not terribly interesting, but I wanted to go over it anyways. But let's go down to 6B3 because that's the interesting section. And again, if you want to catch up all the other stuff that involves this, there's a bunch of other information you can read. But I'm hitting the important parts, which is still a lot to read. So this is the most important part. So 6B3 here is ownership of the user-generated content and license grant to Roblox. For any user-generated content, which includes games, as we addressed earlier, that you have ever provided or that you will provide, whether created solely by you or together with others, A, between you and us or you and others, you retain all copyrights that you may hold in the user-generated content. So they still consider that those copyrights are yours. However, let's keep going. And B, in consideration of using the service and the potential to earn Robux as discussed in the Robux section, you grant us this part. You grant us a perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free right and license with the right to sub-license to any person or entity, whether a service of the user or not, or whether a user of the service or not. So if they decide to do some sort of deal with AT&T, suddenly your game is now the property of AT&T too or something. Keep that in mind. So you grant us this right and license to host, store, transfer, publicly display, publicly perform, including by means of digital audio transmissions or on through the base audience basis, reproduce, including in time synchronization of visual images, modify, create derivative works of, distribute, and use in any way the user-generated content that you provide in whole or in part, including modifications to derivative works in any media formats, tangible or intangible, and through any media, items, or channels, offline, online, or others, now known or hereafter developed, including for publicity and marketing purposes, except that you are not granting us any license to make new or derivative video games using your user-generated content. This right here is them saying, we fucking own anything you make on our service. You still have the copyright, but so do we. And technically, we have more power than you. We also have more lawyers, more money, etc. So you still have the copyright, but so do we. Kindly note that if you provide user-generated content, such as a catalog item or other items to go to or for the service, you do not have the right. You do not if you provide user-generated content, you do not have the right to remove or modify that user-generated content unless Roblox provides tools for you to remove or modify that specific type of user-generated content, or unless otherwise required by law. When using the service, you may be prompted to grant other Roblox users the right to use your user-generated content. If you agree to grant this right, other users may use your user-generated content to create their own games. This is fine, whatever. You will not be entitled to any revenue those other users earn. Fair enough. It's like derivative works. This is a special condition, though. Point is, though, what I went over here, I know it's a lot of text. I know it's a lot to go through. This is very indigestible. Kids can't read this. Younger developers can't read this. This is ridiculous. This is a terms of use that everybody has to agree with to even play on Roblox, to even make anything on Roblox. You're bound to this. But I bet you that 99% of people don't know what the fuck they agreed to, and I don't even blame them, because this is so indigestible. But to summarize everything here, if you make something on Roblox, while you theoretically retain the copyright, Roblox has every right to use it, remove it, modify it, promote it, sell it to a third party. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. And they can do it without any reason, without any warning, without any heads up, without any communication. There's absolutely nothing they're bound to. There's nothing they are bound to with this agreement that gives any sort of respect or any sort of rights to the developer. This is entirely avalanchedly in Roblox's favor, the way this terms of use is written. There's nothing here to really protect the developer's rights. They still have copyright in name, but they don't have copyright in power. It's bad. It's actually kind of predatory. Especially, you want to talk about the idea of younger people on Roblox and them being taken advantage of by properties and stuff that maybe are inappropriate, or people feel is inappropriate. You know what I really consider inappropriate? What I consider inappropriate is a multi-billion-dollar company taking advantage of a bunch of kids and young developers with, bright eyes and a lot of energy making content, taking advantage of them and completely taking ownership of everything they make and controlling them regardless of reasoning. What I consider truly predatory is this fucking terms of use. What I consider truly inappropriate towards, the younger audience is what Roblox is doing here. This is what people should be talking about, not the fact that change has a sexual content tag added by a user. This is where the shit is. This is where stuff needs to be talked about. We can be all. I understand people might be uncomfortable with weird furry stuff, but weird furry stuff doesn't prey on people like this terms of use does. And that's something I'd like to point out here. There's probably even more bullshit in here. I really had trouble processing this, but I think that's enough right there. As far as the terms, I think we are done with that terms of use. It's so much text. But yeah. So Roblox doesn't really, I haven't been reading the chat too much because I've been trying to focus my points. well, I'll take questions in a bit. I'll take questions and statements in a bit. Sorry that I haven't been reading the chat. I just wanted to keep this moving because this is a long video, regardless. But we'll cap this off. I'm almost done. We'll cap this off. I'll start reading the chat. If you guys want to say things to me at that time, you want to share your statements, that's a good time to do it. I'll let you know when you can. And of course, YouTube, feel free to provide comments. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, feel free to tell me. I'm up for dialogue. Just be respectful. So, with all this being said, basically what this means for change on Roblox is that it's not viable anymore. Roblox staff consider change inappropriate. Roblox staff, I don't agree with them, obviously. I don't agree with anyone saying that a change is inappropriate. I respect the opinion of people who feel it's a little weird, a little too weird for them. Hey, if you think something's too weird for you, that's totally understandable. You don't have to say that you like it. You don't have to say that you want to, experience it. If you think change is too weird for you, I understand completely, and I respect that. But don't tell others how to think about something. Don't tell others, oh, that game's inappropriate. I know because I found it weird. So since I found it weird, it must be bad. It's like, you're not that important. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not that important. My opinion isn't the be-all, end-all. That's why I went and talked to Dragon Snow. That's why I went and got the word of God as to whether or not this game is sexual. It isn't. Because Dragon Snow never designed it that way, says it isn't, and point out those takes are added by users, not him. And the fact that it passed, literally, again, I want to stress, change passed the Steam audit. Steam staff themselves reviewed the game and said, this isn't sexual. This doesn't need an adult tag. You're good. Go ahead and exist on the normal Steam store. So, I know, I think the people reviewing the fucking game professionally probably should be the people most listened to, Steam themselves. I think their opinion is perhaps most important, since they are a team, they are professionals, and they have a lot of, if they make a mistake about such a thing, they could get a lawsuit, they get in trouble. So I trust what they choose to do. The Steam staff ain't perfect, but they know how to run their platform. So yeah, again, even my opinion is that, my opinion about it being not sexual is maybe not enough either. That's why I went to Dragonstone, and that's why I found out about the audit process. And yeah, I haven't really done a lot of research about the Steam audit process, but I do know that I can at least, I could easily verify what Dragonstone is saying. We could go into the Steam audit process, but that make the video even longer. You guys can research that if you want. I don't think it's terribly relevant to the points. But yeah, so at the end of the day, I think that this is really, I feel like this issue all just started up because people are uncomfortable with things they don't understand. Which I feel like the furry fandom has been gaining more traction and gaining more acceptance. I've been heartened. I've been actually really encouraged by a lot of random YouTube comments on some furry related videos where people are like, yeah, this isn't my thing, but hey, I'm glad you're having a good time with it. That's cool. It doesn't have to be everybody's thing. You don't have to like furries, but at least, give us the decency to do our own thing and not just condemn us immediately because we're different, But that's what's happening with change. People are out letting their furry hate into change, I feel. And it's sad. It is sad. So moving forward, I don't think that change, there are still some Roblox games, there are still some change Roblox games that haven't been touched. What I think I'll probably do is make private videos on them. I don't want to say what they are because I'm worried that if I do that, then, some Roblox staff might come over and oh, thanks, you gave me a list of the rest of the ones I need to delete. It's no, I'm not going to mention what they are. I might record some private videos of their content, and then if they get deleted, which I think they will at some point, I'll release that content. That's probably what I'll do. I'll release it post-mortem to the games. But it's a shame, because I actually had a huge list of games. I actually been keeping track of this for a while, and it's sad how many of them are gone now. But there's still a few hanging on. I might check them out as a last hurrah. Now, is there something good I can say about all this? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Well, kind of. There is one thing I thought of, and There hasn't been a lot done yet because I just formed the group yesterday. But since I was involved in the Change Roblox community quite a bit, since I'm good at PR and since I'm good at motivating people, I went and talked to quite a number of Roblox Change developers, asset makers, musicians, artists, coders, and I've got a little band of people together at this point, got a little Discord group going. And the idea I had was, hey guys, all of you were working on different projects, but we all kind of worked for the same community. You know, even I was part of that. I'm not a developer for Roblox, but at the same time, I was promoting these games. I was building that community too. And now that's the thing. Like, it sucks for the devs, but it's not just the devs that got hurt here. It's not just the devs that Roblox scorned. There was actual communities built up in these games, and now they're just scattered to the wind. All these users not knowing what's going on. That's part of the reason I'm making this video, so we can inform people. But all these people that love this stuff, and now they're just like, they just lost their homes. They just lost where they roleplayed. They just lost where they hung out with friends. And that blows. Here's my thinking. I've got a group together, and the plan is this. I want to see a comeback. I want to see that all these devs and coders and all this talent that exists out there, if they pull their efforts together, we could have a new game made that has the spirit of change, right? Without being related to change. 100% original assets. Does this sound familiar? I have a little bit of experience with this already because I'm developing a game with that exact idea. Shifted, which is a game that I'm going to be selling on Steam, an RPG Maker game. Shifted is absolutely inspired by change, has a similar art style, but I'm using 100% original music, graphics, code, assets, etc. It's totally inspired. It's entirely inspired by change, but entirely original at the same time. This is what I proposed for these developers, for these coders, for these talented individuals. I proposed working together, making a new Change Roblox server that is focused around transformation and gooey creatures, but not changed. Because I feel that it's just the baggage of change. Roblox staff think change is bad. See, because people said it was bad and there's a tag there. So change is bad. Everybody making a change game, they're bad, they're going to delete it. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's make a game that doesn't involve changed, but at the same time has that spirit. Because then they can't do shit. If an original property is made, not shifted, mind you, just another original property with that same kind of focus. If that is made and care is put into making sure it is not actually inappropriate, they can't do shit at that point. Well, I mean, they could always delete anything without reason, but they wouldn't have absolutely no reason to fuck with that game. Roblox staff. So that's the idea. That is the idea. That is what I am proposing, and that's what I am motivating. I will act as PR for this group. And I've band people together, and hopefully we can get something started. I'm part of that group too. I'm not going to be working directly with the project beyond promoting it. When I'll obviously make a video on it once we have something to put together. It's still in early stages. We only got this group together yesterday. We don't really know what we have. We don't really know what we're planning yet. But I can say there was a lot of people. There's a lot of developers that were really interested to get involved in this because a lot of people had the rug pulled out from under them. They're frustrated, and this is an idea that can get everybody motivated and back together into the idea of creating something like this again. So there's a lot of excitement, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see how long it takes. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I see this is the light at the end of the tunnel. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. A change-inspired game that has none of change's unfortunate baggage. So keep an eye on my channel if you're curious about that. I will absolutely promote that when there's more information, when there's something going on. And yeah, that is the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope that we can provide the now segmented and broken up, changed Roblox community. Let's hope we can bring him back with a cool new game that Roblox has no reason to attack. That's the idea. But yeah, that's kind of a summary of everything I had to talk about. It only took me an hour. Hey, little, I was honestly more efficient than I thought it would be. To close out, let's turn to the chat I have not been reading. Sorry, guys. Let's turn to the stream chat here. And watch as people are yelling at each other in caps lock. What, guys? Calm down. What's going on? People in the stream chat, would you like to pose any questions about any of this, or would you like to make any statements that I would address for this video? Don't do the caps lock. I see there was a discussion about terms of service. I think a simplified copy of official TOS is actually really smart. Look, you need the long TO. Like, when it comes to legalese, you need the long form. You always need the long form, because that covers one's ass, right? So the long form will always exist. But I think a short form that also, like, refers to the long form. Like, here's a short form version. If you want to understand this in more detail, here's the long form version, but here's a short form. I think short form is smart. Especially smart for a website focused around, like, 12-year-olds or so. Like, seriously. I've seen it before on some other games, some other, more kid-focused stuff. There has been, like, short forms of, like, legalese before. I've seen it. So what do we got here? Melon Siggy says, "Hey, Charm, did you know that the game changed Roblox is literally just a copy of the original with 3D Twisted?" Yeah, basically. I thought it was fine. Like, that's nothing wrong with that. And what I know, Dragon Snow actually wanted to take it down at one point. So, Dragon Snow's opinion about the games is he's more or less neutral towards changed Roblox games. He doesn't mind them as long as they credit. He said that himself. The only one he had a problem with was Transformation, because Transformation did some dodgy stuff, removing his credit right before a big video popped up by Flamingo, because the developer of that game subscribed to that logic that change is inappropriate. So he didn't want Flamingo's audience finding out about changed, so he removed the credits to changed. Pretty dumb. And we've already addressed why I think changed is not inappropriate. But yeah, so Dragon Snow is chill. Dragon Snow is generally chill about fan content. I've learned that a long time ago when I made my own, like, music. Before I made shifted music, I made changed fan music. It's now going to become shifted music because it's original music. But yeah, he made some very positive comments. Dragon Snow, both on FA and on Twitter, he favorites and retweets a ton of fan content. He appreciates it. He doesn't always make a comment because he's kind of an aloof guy. He doesn't talk that much, but he's not unsupportive. He doesn't heavily support, but he's not against it. But yeah, and as Tri says, Tri being one of the developers for X-Paragon's game, now defunct Change game. Yeah, Dragon Snow was cool, that game. Terms of service don't seem that predatory to me. If you create content on so Grandmaster Magi's opinion is terms of service doesn't seem that predatory to me. If you create content on a platform, the platform is legally responsible for what they show for the most part. So legally doesn't seem that weird to me. Obviously not great for the developers, but you're creating a game within a game, so you're not gonna have too much control. Yes, that's true to some degree. I think my main issues, Magi, is less how the terms are controlled and more the amount of respect that is given to the developers. The reason Roblox is a big deal is because of its users. Not only those users playing the games, but those users making the games too. Without those developers, Roblox would be nothing. So, I feel it's not unreasonable to say that Roblox staff should treat the developers with a little bit more respect. Terms or no terms, it doesn't mean you can't be decent and give somebody a heads up and let them have a chance to save their code or whatever. And or make changes to their game. Like, hey, we have a problem with this one thing in your game. We're going to delete your game. Or, you know what? A better idea. Hey, we have this one problem with your game. Could you change it for us, Dev? Do you mind if we give you an opportunity to fix it so it can stay up? That would be a better decision. To actually give people a chance of tweaking things so they can keep their content up. But no, just wipe it, because who cares about respecting other people, right? Sarah says, apparently a furry game unrelated to change was deleted during this stream. Oh, I'd like more details. I would like more details on that. What game was this? Whoever knows about what Cyril just said, because it seems like he was paraphrasing someone else. Give me more information. I'll take a quick look at that. To what I can, anyways. Let's see here. My question or opinions are buried. No, I'm reading through. It's a very busy chat we have. 58 viewers. Thank you, guys. Let me go through here. Char said, how was my day? It's a little stressful with all this stuff going on, but I'm all right. I don't have the terrible headache I had yesterday and fever. Let's see, what else? Char also said Dragosto deserves credit. Absolutely. If you are creating a derivative property or a fan game, you should always credit the original, creator. That's just how it goes. Do as much as you can to promote what your fan content stem from. But Beer said, since you described change as teen, in my opinion, it really should be on Roblox, just like all the violent stuff you mentioned. That should also be classed as teen. It's just the fact that the vast majority of Roblox user base are not teens and are not old enough for teen content. Yeah, that argument could be used, but my point is, Beerus, that this system is imperfect. Regardless of how it's used, Roblox's system of moderation is imperfect. Technically speaking, you could say, yeah, remove change content and remove all the violent, like first-person shooters and other games that are violent too. Like there's murder games and stuff too. The argument could be said to remove all that, but we all know that's not going to happen because a lot of those games we're addressing in that make Roblox a lot of money. What I'm saying is, since Roblox wants to have that double standard, they may as well leave the other teen games alone. That's my point. The problem here is, of course, that if they thought Change was a teen-rated game, they probably would have left it alone. They probably would have left that fan content alone. The problem is that Change is, unfortunately, it's gone. People have created this image of Change that Change is an 18+ adults-only game, that it's inappropriate. And as we've discussed earlier, I think that's all a big, fearful, maybe furry-hating fabrication. And, yeah, if the game was actually seen as teen, I don't think it would have been touched. Whether or not a teen-rated game should be touched in Roblox is another question entirely, considering its audience. But that's an entirely different topic I don't want to get into. My point is, if the first-person shooters work for Roblox, so does Change. That's my whole point. So Char said, make the game in Unity or Unreal and put it on Steam, Charm. You avoid Roblox terms of service that way. So that has been discussed. The idea of this comeback game being not on Roblox has been discussed. There's a few snags with that, though. First off, a lot of these Roblox developers don't actually. I mean, some of them do, but some of the Roblox developers don't really have a lot of experience outside of the Roblox dev tools. It is possible they could learn, but it does add some extra hurdles. In addition, I want to point out again, the Roblox community, the Roblox Change community, just got fragmented. If a new game released that was inspired by Change, that community would have something to come back to. If a non-Roblox game was made, that community would still be left hanging. Yeah, they could go check out the new game elsewhere, but that community aspect would be gone. And I feel bad for the community, not just the developers. And I'm thinking towards what they kind of deserve, because they were having a good time. They did nothing wrong. So making another Roblox game would give them, something. Because keep in mind too, a lot of these people are big fans of Change, and Roblox is their platform. That's where they hang out. That's where they have their friends, and yeah, having something on that platform that is Change-like but isn't going to get deleted, that's kind of a good idea. Let's see here. Shifted isn't going on Roblox. No fucking no, it isn't. And apparently, since Roblox owns all assets, I will not be allowing. So I actually briefly allowed. While it was up for a bit, I actually allowed Xparagon's game to use some shifted music. I gave permission for them to add a few new songs. I'm not going to allow use of any shifted assets any further for Roblox, because theoretically, in a way, it's kind of good for me, even though I don't want to say it that way, really. It's kind of good for me the game got deleted, because technically speaking, Roblox owns that music if they were to keep it around, given their fucking terms of service. And that's not cool, because no, I want to make sure I keep the copyright. If I'm allowing usage, you can allow usage of a copyrighted material, of your own copyright, under conditions. That's what I did. But I did not give Roblox the right to use that music, so that was never in my intent. And clearly, I should have read the terms of use a bit more. But can you look at them and tell me why you think it's kind of understandable I missed that? Is what I'm trying to say. Let's see here. Yeah, don't have the solution be avoid Roblox. Yeah, Roblox is the one that needs to change, and also the Roblox community is still, there's still good people out there that deserve a game to enjoy that doesn't get deleted. Code was indeed deleted, but I always have an emergency backup. So Troy verifies that Roblox deleted the code. So all the code work that these developers work on, even if the developers have to remove their game, they should be allowed to they should be given a chance to go save their code, because I'm sure that will help them in the future. Having your old code around, I'm not really much of a coder, but I know for a fact that you can build upon your own code and learn from that. So just losing that all of a sudden would fucking suck. It's good that Troy has an emergency backup. So let's see. Does anyone know a place to hang out with the Change community? Roblox games are gone. I need somewhere else to hang out now. Well, I mean, we got a little bit of a Change community going on my Discord server for Change Bonding Together, my tabletop simulator changed game that Essler developed with me. Mostly Essler. He came up with the rule set. And yes, I know I'm behind on the messages. You guys are talking a lot. Hold on. I'm going to catch up. Perfection. So Perfection was deleted, huh? I'll check that out. Hold on a second. Perfection. Perfection sounds like I'm looking at a video. Okay, Perfection, it seems to be one of the clone games, actually. This is clearly using Transformations code. I'm taking a quick look at a video. This is clearly using Transformations code to some degree. It's got the bats, it's got the whole similar transformation aspects. It's got different models and stuff, but yeah. It might have been taken down because of that fact that it's a cloned code asset. So it was taken down because it's as quote-unquote bad as the game that was shut down that it originated from, if that makes sense. I can't say for sure. This is something we're going to have to research, especially the group. Because, I think one would have to play their cards just right. Again, though, I don't even know if Perfection may have credited changed in its description. I'm not sure, because it's deleted. It's fucking deleted, so it's hard to tell. But it's possible, It's possible that it still had ties changed. And that's, a problem. Moving on, though. Let's see here. I guess I see it as bad moderation, sure, but not predatory, said Magi, about what I was addressing earlier. Even if it's long terms of service, you know what you're getting into when you're delivering an existing IP instead of through RMP. Again, you're playing devil's advocate a bit. Yeah, the Roblox devs have no legal responsibility to be respectful of the devs. You're right. But I also think that if you remove human decency from the equation, then you're going to start slipping down a real bad slope. There is honestly, I will say, I have shared my opinions as to why developing a new Roblox game is a good idea. But I also attest that I do see the logic of developing a completely original game. I'm actually, when you guys mentioned developing an original game, I'm thinking SCP Containment Breach, how that became that was just a standalone Unity project that got very big, got very popular. The problem, of course, is if you're making a standalone game, if you want that community infrastructure, if you want the idea of, multiplayer, if you want the idea of servers, if you want the idea of people being able to, chat to each other in game and, role play or do whatever, that's hard to do on your own. Online infrastructure is really hard to do on your own. Making a single player game, that ain't too much trouble, but oh my god. It's not impossible. But it's something that I will be discussing with the group further, honestly. These concerns you're bringing up are legit. And Roblox ain't a great company. At the same time, it'd be great if we could construct a Roblox game that they had no reason to delete. If we could basically stick it to them, be kind of nice. But it's all debate. It's obviously not just my decision, though, because I've got this whole team of people that are discussing ideas, and we'll just have to see what people vote to do, honestly. The conversations there have been talking going on. I haven't read too much of what was talked about today because I had to hurry to the stream, but let's see here. Is there anything else I want to address amongst the chat? I'm gonna pick and choose here, guys. Okay, so Melon, I'm going to very briefly address that I think X-Pair Gun's perfectly fine. It's okay if you have a problem with them, but I would avoid hating. Don't hate people. If you disagree with them, sure, that's fine. Like, I get it. But, like, don't hate on people, dude. I'm not going to hate you because you hate somebody else. I'm not going to perpetuate that cycle. What are you talking about? I don't want to hate people unnecessarily. I only hate people if they truly do something bloody horrendous and are completely irredeemable even after I try to talk to them about it. That's the only time where I might actually hate somebody. Because usually I like to give people a chance and treat people as individuals and treat people as, you know, as dynamic creatures that can feel one way or another, you know. I don't like to just put somebody in the villain box, because that doesn't work. That's stupid. Unless it's Roblox developer, unless it's the Roblox mods, then no. I hate companies in that case. Like, I hate Roblox as a corporation. I don't hate the people, but I hate how the business practices are running things. Like, I do hate that. Conglomerates are usually what I hate, not people. So Comfy asks, I don't entirely understand how Roblox content creation moderation works. Like, is anyone able to make any random game? Or does the creator have to describe their game to moderate to them to determine if it fits Roblox criteria? It's kind of, as far as like honestly, dev comments, like try status might be able to answer that one for you. But from what I've gathered, it's more or less just, here's all the rules, read them and interpret them correctly to the best of your ability, and then make something. And if you messed up, then your game gets deleted. That's kind of what I see out of it, anyways. Though I guess, I mean, I do know of like some of the change games had some scenes from change that I guess Roblox staff didn't like, and then they remove those scenes later. So the game deletion isn't always the answer that Roblox does. I guess they do. Roblox staff do actually talk to the developers sometimes, but they still, I know for a fact they still land a heavy hand. I want to point out, I have a changed Roblox group. For my you know Charm Plays games, and I guess I could link that actually, and people the person who made the group, because I couldn't do so at the time due to Roblox issues, is brain Poizaz, and Poizaz put up an icon for the group which was just a maw shot of my dog character, just mouth, just dog mouth. And then they got suspended for 7 days, and that image was removed because Roblox staff thought it was inappropriate. It seems like their go-to is to offer it their go-to to tell somebody that they don't agree with something is to just give them a 7-day ban and let them sort it out from there, which just seems so rude. Poizaz did not deserve a 7-day ban because a fucking mouth is apparently bad now. But yeah, if you guys want to know about I guess this is a good time to plug the group. I guess I may as well. I didn't take advantage of these situations. All right, hold on a second. If you're curious about my group, you can feel free to join it. I need to constantly, there we go. If you're curious, it's right here. There you go. I'll put a link again, another link in the description. Also, YouTube, if I forget to put some link in the description, just let me know. I'll try to make sure to put all the links I mentioned in the description, but if I miss one, just drop me a comment. I'll make sure I include it again. But let's see. Char said, I mean, TF is a kink, but it's not too not safe for work in my eyes. But the fact that it's a kink makes it instantly not safe for work in the eyes of other people. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, here's the truth though. If you're gonna use the argument of, well, some people think some people like really like it and it's a kink for them, so it's wrong and it shouldn't be there. Okay, cool. Did you know that should ban pretty much everything? Because the sad truth is, guys, almost anything can be a kink for somebody, and that's fine. But if we're gonna judge something based on the fact that some people like get a little too obsessed with it like that, then you should condemn pretty much everything. For instance, cars, feet. I guess are you in sandals? How indecent! How indecent! Do you not know that people have a foot fetish sometimes? How dare you wear sandals without socks? Oh my God, how rude! It's like, oh, do you drive a car? How dare you! Don't you know some people actually love cars a lot? That's very indecent. Put that away in the garage. You can't take that out. How dare you have a car out and about? Look, we can go as far into this as we want, but my point is that Yeah, doesn't that sound absurd? You can do this with practically anything. But yeah, just because something's a kink for some people doesn't make it not safe for work for most people. Or not safe for work by basic definition. It's still safe for work under most definitions, unless it's actually something truly explicit. Let's see here. RoboBaba highlighted his message for no reason and regrets it. Well, I still read it off, so there you go. You got something out of that highlight. Let's see. Scrolling down. Let's see. What else do I want to read here? Just like I said, the Roblox is DYIVI. I don't know how to pronounce that. DIVI? Like I said, the Roblox change community is very upset and hostile right now, he says. That's true. Let's try not to be too hostile, though, guys. It's not really helpful to point blame. Ultimately, regardless of what motivated the Roblox moderation staff team, regardless of what motivated them, it was still the Roblox staff team's decision to act like they did. So we can say, oh, well, these people influenced the Roblox staff to do this, or these people told Roblox staff. Okay, whatever. The point is that the buck starts and stops with the Roblox staff. They have the option to make a respectful decision. They didn't take it. They made a decision based on paranoias and such. That was their decision, nobody else's. Spam chat so he never catches up. How dare you, Snowflake? I'm gonna catch up. I'm just trying to be. I'm thorough, I'm thorough. Try not to spam the chat. Let's see here. Real Lucky did an comment. YouTube and Roblox share the problem of not respecting their content creators enough to feel it's worth telling them how their content violates terms of service, and opt to skip straight to punishment rather than giving their content creators the time or resources to fix or remove the offending content. Well, thank you, Pills. But actually, Real Lucky has a good comment. I'm actually gonna really quick highlight this because this is actually a really good comment. Because this is true, unfortunately. This comment here. You're right. Why is this tilted slightly? Okay, I'm going to ignore the fact that the comment is somehow slightly tilted. That's weird. So, yes, this is true. I actually, I obviously I love making YouTube content for you guys. I put out a lot of stuff, and I sometimes even put out, YouTube exclusive. A lot of my stuff comes from my Twitch streams, and then gets put on YouTube. But sometimes I actually edit stuff for YouTube, and sometimes I make exclusive YouTube content as well. And I do that because I do appreciate my YouTube audience. You guys are great. You guys are making me some extra money. I appreciate that. This is my job. This stuff is my job, so I need to make revenue, or I'm in a lot of trouble. So money is important. But this comment here. It's true. I don't, as much as I appreciate the YouTube revenue, I still focus on my Twitch revenue. Because I trust Twitch more than YouTube. I don't really trust YouTube. I feel like YouTube could just decide to destroy my channel any day if they wanted to. And thus, I don't really rely on that income. It's really good to have that extra income, but I don't rely on it. I always consider the possibility it might go away. Because I don't trust YouTube. And it's true. YouTube, Roblox, some other companies too do this. They don't tell, that's the main problem. They don't tell their content creators what they did. They just remove it. And honestly, that's probably a symptom of the fact that they're both very big. YouTube and Roblox have a lot of users, a lot of creators, and probably not nearly as many staff. So what ends up happening is the staff, strapped for time, they just ban, delete, throw a moderator message, move on to the next person. They don't have the time to invest into people to tell them what they did wrong. They don't have the time to open a dialogue. And while I understand that, they're overworked, they have a lot to do, I understand that. That is a clear indicator that they need to get more staff on. They don't, of course, because they want to save money. But that's the problem. if you don't have enough staff to do something, those staff are going to rush. They're going to make quick decisions. They're going to condemn a person quickly because that's quicker than trying to figure out the issue. Hey, you got 500 reports to go through today. Hey, that one person looks like they did something wrong. Are you going to spend 30 minutes researching it? No? Okay. Well, you don't really have time. Go ahead, rush. Just temp ban them and delete their content and write a quick blurb as to why it's not allowed. Done. Move on to the next person. You got 499 left. It's not really the fault of the employees. They're strapped for time. The problem lies in the higher ups, the CEOs, the people who decide, hey, how big, how capable should our moderation team be? You know, it's those people's fucking responsibility to give enough, to staff the positions enough that actual care can be put towards issues and actual communication can be opened towards content creators. If it's not happening, it's their fault, you know? So let's see here. Let's see. Scrolling down. Oh my god. I thought I was almost at the end and then the bar just like loaded a ton more. Okay. Gonna hurry up. Let's see. If I'm Cuffy asked a question about how things works in Roblox. Yeah. Okay. I got to my shameless plug. I'm still confused on the question. Which question? Oh, that one. Well, you guys can work that out. I'm gonna ignore that. Vor. I will defend transformation. I'm not entirely sure about Vor because it's okay. So Key brought up the subject of Vor. Now, Vor isn't really something that was a topic or an issue for all the Change Roblox games. Like, Vor wasn't really a part of them. It was just about TF and gooey furry animal creatures. Some of the Change Roblox servers didn't even have any TF options. You just existed in the Change, tower, and that was about it. And maybe you could like be one of the animals, but there wasn't really transformation activity going on in the game. But as far as Vor, Vor did happen and changed at one point, very briefly, but it was very minor. But yeah, he says, I won't defend TF. I will defend TF. Not entirely sure about Vor because it's like 50 not safe for work and 50 not safe for work, but it's more like they'll say not safe for work. Anything can be a kink. There's a guy who, bleeps his car. Yeah, here's the thing about Vor, right? Vor is a huge, widespread topic. In fact, I'd like to do an edited video just for YouTube at some point. I wanted to start a series called basically What the Fluff is Up With, and then topic. What the fluff is up with Fat First? What the fluff is up with Vor? What the fluff is up with transformation? I wanted to discuss these topics, these interests, these not normally furry, but not just furry interests that people have. And I call them interests because I want to discuss these things that aren't always sexual. These things can be completely non-sexual and still be interesting and still be a thing people enjoy. I know tons of people who love Vor stuff that have no sexual desires whatsoever. They just like the idea of for some it's like an idea of protection, like being safe inside somebody else. For some it's like kind of romantic. It's like being close to somebody that you care about, like really, really close to them. And other people like the aspect of like, feeling full and eating food and getting fat. And it's again, going back to my earlier argument, if you want to call Vor as like, oh, it's a kink, it shouldn't be shown, it's bad, then I guess eating food in public is also indecent because technically that's kind of Vor too. The idea of consuming food is not a kink. I mean, it is for some people, but it isn't just an over-blanketed kink and should not be shown anywhere. Yes. I mean, again, like with anything, Vor can become sexualized, can be explicit, but it doesn't have to be. And that's the point. I'd say most of it isn't, actually. I'd say most Vor is actually safe for work. Just having been in the fandom and been in the Vor groups for as long as I have, I would say I've seen far more safe for work art than not safe for work, honestly. Let's see. I'm getting there, guys. I'm not a fast reader. I'm a thorough reader. If I miss something super important, by the time I get to the end, you guys can reiterate it to me. Let's see. Mostly just looking for long posts because there's usually more information there. So Key said that Twitch has some issue with the same thing people got banned for playing the new Breath of the Wild Dynasty Warriors game on Twitch because it was only released in certain areas of the world, but it wasn't fair, and that explains. So hundreds of people got banned for no reason because they rushed. Huh. That has nothing to do with this topic. I don't know why I read that. That being said, that's kind of lame. So Troy actually says something interesting. He says, from what I hear, Roblox staff use external companies to act as moderators. Okay, so they actually outsource their moderation. That's not good, actually. That makes for less communication, less direct concern over the consumers. Because again, you're asking a company that's not involved with Roblox, not involved with Roblox's community, to care about the Roblox community and moderate it. They're not going to give a fuck. They're probably just going to do... They're probably just going to... When you outsource, the outsourced company, their goal is to provide numbers. Their goal is to look like they've been doing a lot. So that's all they really care about, you know. A lot of times, anyways. There can be some good outsourced companies, but very often outsourcing creates a lack of concern, creates apathy, creates a disconnection to the audience, you know. So that's not good. I think that makes the situation worse, actually. And even so, I bet they're still understaffed for the job. Let's see. And the subject of, I think Key was mentioning expenses and quality of life. Like, it costs more money to hire an in-team, non-outsourced moderator team. Yeah, it costs... Like, here's the thing. A lot of companies want to save money, and that's, like, the biggest mistake a lot of companies make. So many companies worry about how much they can save money that they ruin the quality of their products. Because in the short term, they save money, but in the long term, they lose money. Because here's the thing. If you invest a little bit more time and money into doing something that benefits your customers, then in the long term, you're going to increase customer loyalty, gather more customers, you're going to get good word of mouth spread about you, you're going to make bank in the future. A lot of companies are so fucking short-sighted these days. They're like, well, if we could save money like this week, that's great. Never mind the fact that they just lost a lot of customer loyalty by making that decision and lost money long term. If you invest into the long term, if you invest money now, you make the money back later. That's just a smart business decision. Customer loyalty is very, very powerful, and it can make you a lot of bank in the future. The question is, are you willing to invest? And with a large company like Roblox or YouTube, they have the money to invest. They have the money to burn into such a loyalty investment, into such a quality investment. They can do that, but they still choose not to. It's weird. The most short-sighted companies worrying about how much they're spending are the companies that can spend the most money. Meanwhile, the companies that, you know, like little mom and pop shops and stuff, they care about the customers to the detriment of their wallet sometimes, even though they don't have that much money. It's weird. It's like the more money you get, the more money you get, the more greedy you are to hold on to it or something. Let's see here. Guardian added me and said, the game Kogama accepts everything, skins, games, and others, but Kogama staff not ban player doing inappropriate skins or games. The Roblox not accept these things, but Roblox staff don't have 18 plus games. The Roblox player reported the game banned in Roblox. That was a little bit broken English. That's I didn't completely understand, but it sounds like the game Kogana is kind of skirting under the 18 plus radar with Roblox. Like it's having some 18 plus content, but it's not being touched. I would assume it's also doing pretty well and making a decent amount of money for Roblox. I assume it's one of the it's a popular game too, because that typically is a determining factor. Like it or not, if something is making a company a lot of money, the company is going to be more lenient with it. But let's see here. I think I'm getting near the end, maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna rush a bit. I was already rushing. You forgot to tell your viewers to like and subscribe. Well, I had the thing at the beginning that did that, so I don't have to say it out loud because I feel weird, like, blabbering about that. But yes, please like and subscribe, and consider watching me on Twitch and stuff, guys. Like, this stuff takes a lot out of me, so I'd appreciate that. If you guys think I'm interesting, if you guys think I make good points. If you guys think I make bad points but are still interested, it doesn't matter. It's like, please, if you could support, please do. It's helpful. It lets me keep going on these sort of things. Let's see. So Marshall Waits says, a random message I will drop. The Roblox moderator team is not managed well, neither trained, and has a disconnect with the community. I believe this is done out of pure panic as Roblox gets into unnecessary drama. I agree with Koneko and Roblox's decision to purge the fan games. However, I disagree with the aggressive approach they took. So, again, I kind of disagree with you on the idea of removing those games, but that's fine. I don't mind. Like, I think the bigger point is what you agree with me on. I think the bigger point is the respect given to the community, to the developers. I think that's far more important than whether or not a game stays up. I absolutely agree, because that sets a precedent. When they act that way towards people, that sets a precedent that doesn't just affect those games and those people, but affects games and people in the future as well. So that is a bigger deal than the games being removed. I agree with you. Let's see. Yeah, don't hate Koneko. Do not hate Koneko. Koneko was just offering his opinion. I want to remind everybody, Koneko was actually being told repeatedly by his viewers, can you report on this change situation? Can you report on the change situation? Can you report? And he was like, okay, I'll report on it. He was kind of pushed to give his opinion. So don't hate him for an opinion he was pushed to give. He probably wouldn't have said anything if he hadn't been pushed to talk, actually. So, you know, people got their opinion out of him. Don't hate him for that. Let's see. If these corporations were invested in customer loyalty and long-term investments, we wouldn't be seeing loot boxes in all these games. True statement. Constant monetization features that involve no effort from the company. Yes. And Drinking Cat made an important note about companies. Problem is, most investors, which pretty much make the decision, are more interested in a quick return than long-term longevity. All right, I have a very dramatic response to that. Then get new investors. Invest in your investors, companies. Find investors that actually give a shit about your company's growth and care about receiving a long-term profit. Char, what? I have two chats up, by the way. I can see the active chat. Investors want the money now because their yacht. Well, fuck their yachts. Fuck their yachts. Let's see. If your company is publicly posted to the stock market, which again, Roblox just went public recently, just making money is not enough. If you aren't making more money than last year, that's a failure. You have to pinch and scrape as much as possible. That's true. That's the unfortunate truth about the stock market. However, truly skilled stock market analysts can look at a company's investment and their loss during a year and still tell people, like, this company lost this year, but they're going to be gaining tenfold next year or in 2 years. So, like, true savvy investors will understand when a company is doing an investment themselves, and we'll see, like, yes, they're down this year, so don't buy right now, but buy in the, buy for the next, or actually do buy because it's down, it's cheaper. So buy now because it's going to go up in the future because they're investing in themselves. It actually, yeah, it hurts the stock market price for that year, but like smart investors will still understand, like, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Let's see. So Dota. Breezing Wolf says, about the money invested by these companies. It reminds me of Dota because Warcraft 3 didn't have such aggressive terms of service, so the developer was able to keep their property. And now the Dota money goes somewhere else. The Warcraft 3 remake has aggressive terms of service, kind of like Roblox, because they are ready to snatch the next Dota, or rather the next big game that someone may develop in their platform. I imagine that Roblox also wants something like that. That's quite true. That is quite true. It comes back to greed. But it's a logical reason as to why they have that. Like, it's a logical explanation of their greed making that sort of decision. There is legal reasons why I understand them wanting to protect their rights and stuff, but, like, it's going too far sometimes, I feel. Let's see. I'm very sorry I can't read everybody's messages. It's just so much. We could do this for hours, I'm sure. You guys are great, though. I appreciate all that. We have 76 viewers? Guys, we have enough viewers to get partner. If we did this for a month. If we had this viewer count for a month. We actually hit the legendary partner number. Holy crap. Thank you, guys. Of course, we won't get 75 viewers for an entire month right now. But if we can hit this number consistently, I'll get partner eventually. So if you guys want to hang out on my other streams, please. It's so helpful. Partner requires 75 average viewers over the course of 30 days. Over the course of basically like 5 or 6 streams. So if you guys want to help me meet that goal, just watch my content. Just come by, just hang out. Even if it's a game you don't like, come by, like maybe turn down the volume and just, leave the tab around if you wanted to help that way too, even if you don't care about the game. If you want to. Again, if you want to. If we hit partner, it's win-win for everybody. It helps me, it helps you. We get so many benefits that cross over to both me and the viewers. So it would be really cool if we could hit partner. But that aside, let's see. So Arceus says that Roblox's email says, now Arceus Skullgod, he worked on Arceus, I don't remember what you worked on. You can say in the chat, but you definitely worked on some Roblox change content as well. So Roblox email system are bots and automatic messages. When my first old account got banned, Arceus Gamer God, they said, oh, because your card got declined, you're staying permabanned. Until an old roleplay I made about Bindi got the account unbanned for a warning, which is confusing. No, that's not confusing at all. You got banned because of an arbitrary reason of wait, your card got declined? That's just a common issue that can happen. What? Your card got declined. That must make you a criminal. Like, what? That just can happen. What? That's stupid. But your old roleplay got you unbanned because it probably got a bit popular. So they're like, oh, we should bring him back because this is making us a bit of money or something. Probably something like that. Let's see. Fuck their yachts, that's a kink. How dare you, Beerus? God damn it. This chat is cursed and I love it. Yeah, it seems to be a bit. Grandmaster Magi further says, I feel this is a vaguely related anti-capitalist rant that could probably be better informed. There are a lot more details that matter when talking about finances. Trust me, I am not pretending to be a financial expert. I'm simply expressing my opinion, and I do encourage people to research this stuff themselves. I do, however, think that a lot of large corporations do not consider the people aspect. And I know some of you might call me stupid for trying to say, like, oh, well, you got to consider the human element with a big company. Because we all know that a big company is not going to consider the human element. But it doesn't change the fact that I feel like this is my own personal values. If you are throwing away the human aspect of something, then there's no point to it. If you aren't considering, like for instance, I do my streams, I care about my viewers, like legit. I may not have time to talk to every single one or learn about every single one of them, but I do care about them. And if somebody, if people are bringing up topics, I try to get involved in them. And that's just what I do, because if I was doing this streaming job and I wasn't reading the chat and I didn't care about, the chat or whatever, there'd be no point in me streaming. That's my attitude. Like, the human aspect is important. Let's see. Real Lucky says, any community content considering battering subjects and items because a keyword might be a kink for someone is essentially considering shutting down entirely because someone is random and not because doorknobs can turn some people on. There's nothing you could think of. There's at least one person has it as a kink. That's why you can't build a business structure around, well, this could be a kink, so we should ban it. It doesn't work. It's too nebulous. It's just, you can't find anything concrete with that or anything that's actually logical. It's always going to come down to like subjective, opinionative sort of decisions that, yeah. Let's see here. I want to get to the end of this chat. Holy shit, there's just so much chat. Let's see here. I'm gonna skip through most of this. Oh wait, I got to the bottom! Holy crap! It does exist. There is a bottom to this pit. I will not fall forever until I die of starvation. But yeah, so just because something, Phoenix Snowflake says a comment that I very much agree with. Just because something is commonplace doesn't make it right. If we just accept that all big companies are not going to have humanity, then we're screwed. I personally believe that every single person can have humanity and care about their common man if they want to. And that means every single person in a company can do that too, if they want to. And you know what? If a high up position like a CEO decides to be a good person, that affects the entire company. That affects the entire company for the positive. So I will never stop holding people responsible for that, because people are responsible to have human decency. And there's nobody that's exempt from that. It may be an idealist viewpoint, but fuck it, it's not wrong. So anyways, I think that's good for now. We talked for an extra hour with the chat, so I think that's good. I think we're going to end the video here. Again, YouTube, you will have links in the description for every one of my talking points. If I forget one, let me know and I'll add it in. There are chapter listings in the time bar, so you can skip around to the topics you care the most about. And of course, offer your opinions in the comments. Please let me know what you think. Sorry this video was so long, but hey, I kind of knew it was going to be. We actually kept it pretty organized, though. I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, thanks for getting involved in this topic. Whether you're in the stream or on the YouTube video, thank you for getting involved. And if you disagree with me, I completely understand, and that's totally fine. We have 69 viewers. Giggity, giggity. It's totally fine if you disagree with me. Just be respectful. Like, I agree. Like, I will say that maybe not everything I feel is completely conducive to how business should work or how people should view something. Because I'm not going to pretend that my opinion is, like, the most important one, or like everybody should think the way I think. No, I think you should think differently than me, because it's good to have individuality. It's good to have unique opinions, and that's how the world can progress, by everybody sharing their unique opinions and comparing notes. That's important. That's good. I encourage that. But the key thing, I just standpoint, my strongest stances are Roblox could respect their developers more, and I do not. Word of God states the change is not a sexual content possessing game. It is not an 18+ game. It was never designed to be that. So, regardless of my opinion, Word of God states the developer of Changed, the sole developer of Changed, it did not make a sexual game. So if people want to put sexual labels onto Changed, that's going against the developer's intentions. I think that's the end of story. My opinion, regardless, that's the truth of the thing. That's a fact. So yeah, I really hope we can, maybe not pick on Change so much, because yeah, it's really not that bad. But yeah, so that's kind of the summary of events. I hope that helped people, and yeah, I'll perhaps, hopefully I can still put out a little more Change Roblox content, because like I said, I'm going to see about making some local content and just saving the videos, and then if the game goes down, I'll put it up. Because I don't want to broadcast that the game's up so that it gets taken down. I'd only share such videos if the game's already gone. But yes, hopefully we can figure out something with the team that I have kind of talking, the devs and such, that hopefully we can figure out something of a sequel to all these Change Roblox games. Perhaps on Roblox, perhaps off Roblox. We'll open a discussion. There's already a discussion going on behind the scenes in this Roblox, in this Discord group we have. So we'll figure something out. And just keep an eye on my channel if you're curious about what that will be. And I don't know when it'll be, but just keep an eye out. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for hanging out, listening to this discussion, and getting involved. I will see you for the next video.